Welcome to Spivey Talks. I am, of course, Spivey, and we are here on another Sunday with more interviews. And this time, I'm here with my guest, aTrain.
What's up? It's your boy aTrain in the house.
Today is going to be a little bit different than usual. Yes, we are drinking. We started off both with the last of the Smirnoff that's finally gone. I know a lot of people were saying, why, actually, here, we're going to give you that last little drop that's in there. I don't want people to say we cheated it. We're gonna
Alcohol abuse, brother.
Yeah.
Alcohol abuse.
Please drink responsibly. Make sure you're of legal age to do so. If you are not of legal age, we do not condone you doing such things. Started with Smirnoff, and we've jumped over to Bacardi 151. Our first topic today would be fatherhood. Okay. So,
Good one.
So I can't really think of too many topics that can ultimately beat that one. So, I'm a father. I have a 1-year-old, and you have a
6-month-old. Actually, 7 months today.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
Now I know for me, that was a lot to take in. My situation was a horrible situation about how everything came about, but I love my son to death, and he is the world. And I would do anything for him, and I'm sure you feel the same.
He's my rock, man. He's the reason I do what I do every day. Whether you like it or not, you do it. Provide for your family.
Right. And it's funny because when he was born, I would just sit there and just stare at him like, wow. And he was so like tiny and he seemed so delicate that I wouldn't hold him for like the first 2 weeks basically. I was too afraid. Like they were like, "Oh, you want to hold it?" No, I'm not about to hurt him because everybody's told me for years that I'm rough and I'm not gentle. So this new life, like I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
For me, man, I was ready for it. You know, from the moment I found out I was going to have a baby, I said, "Oh, I got to have a son. I got to have a son." Now, don't get me wrong, people. If it was a girl, it would have been cool. But I wanted a son really bad because I relate. I'm a man. I feel I could relate to a boy better. But you know, from the moment he was born, I couldn't wait to get my hands on him. You know, I wanted him to know his daddy was there. I wanted him to know that he could always rely on me because, I didn't have a great father figure growing up. My dad was kind of absent for various reasons, and I wanted to break that cycle. But you're right. You're 100% right. It is a delicate form of life, and you look at this child and you think, how do I take something and how do I provide the care and the nurture that I need for this? You don't want to hurt it. It's the first time you've ever held something so small, but yet so alive. And it's a learning experience and a learning curve, and I think what you went through, Spivey, is what a lot of people go through, man. It's the initial fear of, I don't want to harm this, and it's an overwhelming sense of compassion that you have for these children, and anyone who's had a kid understands that, and until you have a kid, you can't understand the actual fact of loving something more than yourself, man. You just can't grasp that concept until you first see it, and then when it's there, it's over with.
Funny because my whole mental outset of a lot of things changed. Like before, I'd be on Facebook and people have all these pictures and videos of their kids, and I didn't care. I didn't get to. Like, it's not my kid. I don't care.
Fair
but
enough,
now, man, I stop and I look, and it's like, wow, like more people brought in more precious life to this world. I sit there and I've actually literally cried at seeing some of these videos of like good parents and stuff doing what it takes, and I've lost my mind. I saw a video a few weeks ago of a dude letting his child, maybe a year-old child, play with a gun, and it was a real gun.
Man,
I freaked out. And my cousin, she had her son in her car. She was driving, talking about some deal on a road trip, and he has a toy gun, and it looks just like a real gun. I mean, it has attachments on it for sight and stuff like that. And I'm like, first off, we're black in America, and you let this child play with this toy gun, and we're from Chicago.
Right.
My family, we're from Chicago. And it's a whole nother category of things out there.
It's a whole other world up north, man.
First, she doesn't have him in his car seat. Second, she's letting him play with this toy gun, and I'm losing my shit. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? But I mean, it's her child. I can only say my opinion, but I can't tell her what to do. I just hope that more parents will be more responsible in what they're doing and how they do it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I feel like this is a sensitive subject because it combines proper care for children and then, gun control and gun safety. And those are, two different entities in themselves. But, I mean, the common ground is that, one, you never let your child anywhere near a real firearm, man. I mean, that's common sense. If you do arm firearms, keep them up, keep them put away. You know, and keep in mind that once your child gets 3 or 4, it's walking around, it's going to get into things. That drawer that you kept it in at 6 months old is not off limits anymore. So you got to keep that in mind and make sure as they grow, you continue to get these things, you know, out of their reach. You know, keep them locked up, keep them unloaded, keep trigger locks. You know, do what you do. I'm not saying don't own a gun, but I'm saying make sure you take precautions to keep these live firearms out of your child's way, because I mean it's one mistake and then either the child's gone or you're gone, or you know, and there is no taking that back, man. You can't take that back.
That actually literally happened. A female, I forgot her details of her story, but the gist of it is, in the shopping center, she had her gun in her purse.
In her purse.
And the child got the gun and shot and killed her.
I heard about that, man.
This kid has to forever and a day live with the fact that he killed his mother because she was being retarded and had her gun in her purse and not on the lock and loaded and all these other issues.
Well, you know what's even worse than that, man, is that the child's so young, it doesn't understand the magnitude of what it's done. That's not going to hit that child till it gets later on in life when it slowly realizes, well, gee, mom's not around, you know, and then people have to explain to this child, oh, well, here's what happened, and how does a child wrap his head around that concept, man? You know, it's, you know, what I'm getting at is the weight of that situation is not even comprehensible by a child that age. And by the time the child gets old enough to comprehend what he did at that age, how does he swallow that pill, man? How does he swallow that pill?
I know that would be devastating because either I see it as one of two scenarios. Either one, that child's gonna grow up disassociated from feelings and emotions. They're like, well, I'm a killer. I've been killing since age 2. Like,
right.
Come on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So either that child is not going to care or put so much value on human life, or they're going to be really destroyed and have this mental issue and block about all of these different topics because they no longer have a mother. They don't have that essential nurturing nature that should be there because mothers play such an important role.
I mean, I can be there for my son and I'm there for my son, but the bottom line is you can never replace your mom, man. The mom's always going to be number one.